In the boxing world, potential opponents avoided him, while those brave enough to step into the ring always shared the same testimonial, describing the experience as akin to having a gun pointed at their heads, where one wrong move meant the lights went out. Outside the ring, he was just as intimidating, upholding law and order in his hometown. Whether it was a criminal on the streets of Albuquerque or an opponent across the ring, they all feared. Bob Foster was born on December 15, 1938, in Borger, Texas. His father left the family when Bob was just 4 years old, and the only memory he retained of his father was that he was mean. Bob's mother then moved him and his older sister to Albuquerque, New Mexico, where she supported the family by working as a maid at the Franciscan Hotel. Foster learned to box at the Albuquerque Boys Club, but it was during his time in the Air Force that he began boxing competitively. He lost his first 7 fights before going on a tear, winning military service titles in 3 divisions, from middleweight to heavyweight. Foster thought about pursuing a spot on the 1960s Olympic team, but it became apparent that Muhammad Ali, then known as Cassius Clay, was the solid pick to be the light heavyweight entrant. There was only room on the team for Foster as a middleweight, and he nixed the idea. He settled in Washington, D.C., started a family, and drawing on his successful military boxing career, decided to try his hand as a professional. Under the management and training of Billy Edwards, Foster made his professional debut in March of 1961, earning a modest $23. In just his 9th professional fight, Foster faced the seasoned veteran Burt Whitehurst, giving up nearly 20 pounds, but emerging victorious over 8 rounds. 4 months later, Foster stepped in as a last-minute replacement for Zora Foley to take on heavyweight contender Doug Jones, who stopped him in 8 rounds. Jones had gotten out of the service sooner than me, Foster said. He was well on his way up as a professional. I wasn't ready for him, but couldn't resist the $4,000 they offered me. Foster fought 4 times in 1963, losing only to Mauro Mina. In May of 1964, he once again came in as a replacement, taking on the number 9 ranked light heavyweight Alan Thomas in a nationally televised bout.
Foster, you can see, has that good jab, a sharp one, and a good left hook. And he has hurt Thomas with the left hook. Thomas is down. He was down at 50 seconds. He has to take the mandatory 8 count. Thomas wisely waits for Foster to come to him. Thomas is down again. And we have 1 minute and 45 seconds remaining in the round. A mandatory 8 count. If Thomas goes down again, the fight's over. It is all over. It's the biggest win that Bob Foster has scored, no question about that. He has now scored 9 knockouts in a row and has won 15 out of 17. 11 of them by knockouts, and 9 in a row. For Alan Thomas, a bad break. He was cut down by the sharp left hooks of Bob Foster.
Despite the win over a light heavyweight contender, Foster continued to be matched against heavyweights, taking the bouts because of the money involved. He was sometimes successful, knocking out Dave Bailey and Willie Besmanoff, but losing to Ernie Terrell, who stopped him in 7 rounds. In December of 1964, Foster scored his biggest win to date, stopping Henry Hank in 9 rounds, and 7 months later, he toyed with the aging veteran in a rematch, outpointing him over 12 rounds. Foster was now the number 5 ranked light heavyweight in the world and began calling for a title shot, but neither Willie Pastrana or Jose Torres wanted anything to do with him. Foster even had trouble finding sparring partners as trainer Billy Edwards took out ads in the local newspaper to find suitable spar mates. "We'll take anybody, from 175 to 500 pounds, Edwards said. In December of 1965, Foster once again took on a heavyweight, giving up over 30 pounds to contender Zora Foley, who decisioned him over 10 rounds. Foster then retired from the sport. He was tired of having to fight bigger men and coming up short. He took a job in a bomb-making factory in York, Pennsylvania, where he lifted casings from one assembly line to another. Foster worked in this factory for a year before a boxing manager named Morris Mushke Salo sought him out. Salo guaranteed Foster $150 a week in pay if Foster could quit the factory job and return to boxing. Foster agreed, and an immediate offer came in from Germany for a $7,000 payday. Foster told Salo to grab it, but the manager saw the bigger picture. "I'm turning it down," Salo said. "You've been out of the ring for a year. You need some soft touches first to work your way back into shape, but I'll promise you'll get a shot at the title within a year." True to his word, Salo delivered on his promise, and Foster climbed the ranks to contend for a title within the predicted time frame. However, reigning light heavyweight champion Dick Tiger was initially reluctant to face Foster and had to be persuaded with a $100,000 guarantee. Salo managed to secure wrestling promoter Vince McMahon Sr. to finance the fight, and Foster finally had his chance at the light heavyweight title at Madison Square Garden. With an 8-inch reach advantage and towering over his opponent by 7.5 inches, Foster entered the fight as a 12-5 favorite.
They're wearing 8-ounce gloves. The mandatory 8 count is in effect. If a man is floored 3 times in a round, he is considered knocked out. And if a man is floored at or near the bell, the count will continue until he rises or is counted out. Now you can see the tremendous height advantage that Bob Foster has, but a very slim waistline. He's got 8 inches in reach on Tiger. Tiger must move to the body to take that guard down. Foster has a good jolting left hand, a sharp jab. Tiger, you've seen him many times, moves straight ahead, lets the other fellow do the moving. Just moves around in a circle as a rule. Foster has 2 alternatives. He can try for a quick knockout. He's capable of it. If he does that, he gambles that he might not be able to go the limit himself. He's never gone 15 rounds. Tiger has done it 7 times. Foster's best is his jab and his left hook. 1 minute to go in the round as Tiger finds his fellow opponent. When Foster opens up, he'll do it with combinations. Tiger's good counter punch there. Tiger is carrying the round. Ten seconds left in this round. There's the bell. They wondered if Tiger could punch up. He is doing it very well. Now the question is, can Foster punch down? Two minutes left in round 2. Seconds left in this round. Tiger putting on another surge. Bob Foster making a mistake, the experts here think, in crouching and giving Tiger a shot at his chin. That's about the first time that Foster has thrown the right hand tonight. A good solid right hand and a hook, both good by Bob Foster. Tiger is usually a slow starter, but he's gotten off quickly in this fight. Foster scored that left hook while he was slipping. And now Foster seems to be coming on behind that jab. The jab is bothering Tiger, and Tiger is falling for head feints. Light heavyweight championship bout, Dick Tiger on the left, Bob Foster, the taller of the two, the referee Mark Kahn. Tiger took the first 2 rounds, and then Foster started to come on. Foster's long reach, long height, sharp jolting jab are making him a tough customer now. He's hitting harder with the jab. And he is still slipping. They scrape the shoes of Foster between rounds. Let's see if it keeps him floating. Now that jab is starting to work on Tiger. There is this possibility. Tiger, fighting a man almost 8 inches taller, could very well hit below the belt unintentionally and cost himself. No sweat that time. I don't think Tiger hurt Foster, but he certainly bothered him that time. A minute to go in the round. How can you miss a punch over Foster's head? Tiger is down! Tiger down! 6, 7, 8, 9. He's not going to make it! Bob Foster is the new light heavyweight champion of the world with a dynamite left hook that caught gallant Dick Tiger on the way in.
Foster won the championship, but wound up losing over $20,000 as he had to give up his percentage of the gate in order for Tiger to receive his contracted $100,000. Foster received an offer to face middleweight champion Nino Benvenuti, but he wanted the big money that came from fighting heavyweights. Foster stated that he now wanted to face the likes of Jimmy Ellis, Floyd Patterson, or Joe Frazier. Foster faced heavyweights in his next 2 fights, stopping Charlie Polite, but encountering near disaster against Eddie Vick. Foster was floored and out on his feet in the first round before the bell saved him. He recovered and jabbed Vick into submission by the 9th round. His first light heavyweight title defense was then scheduled for Madison Square Garden, where he faced a popular East Coast fighter named Frankie DePaula. Even New York Jets quarterback Joe Namath was on hand to support DePaula, whispering, "We were underdogs too," in the challenger's ear before he entered the ring against Foster.
And the bout is underway. Bob Foster, at 6'3½", is 7 inches taller and has a reach advantage 79 to 70 inches. The problem for DePaula is to get by Foster's darting left jab. DePaula likes to fight in close. He can hit hard with either hand. Foster's best punch is his left hook. He starts a jab, sometimes turns it into a hook as he just did. Foster has been warned to stay off the ropes against DePaula. And that is Foster down. Are they counting that a knockdown? It is. They're counting it a knockdown. Mandatory 8 count. There's the first knockdown of the fight. It didn't seem much of a punch, but Foster went down. As we said earlier, he's very, very light at 171.5, and he rips that right hand to the jaw. Foster a little bit like Rocky Marciano in his actions. Or rather, that's DePaula like Rocky Marciano. Foster has been compared to Bob Fitzsimmons, a former heavyweight and light heavyweight champion. The round is half over. Some of those jabs are getting in like the one you just saw, and some aren't. The left hook, and DePaula was hurt. DePaula had to hold on, taking a rocking right, and DePaula starts down, and this is a bout in which both have been down. Mandatory 8 count. DePaula waved to his corner that he was all right. 1 minute and 5 seconds left to go in round 1. Neither seem much of a knockdown, but both are hard hitters. Foster is setting up DePaula now. With solid punches, DePaula down again for the second time. Mandatory 8 count. He's on his feet. One more knockdown of DePaula and the fight will be over. We've got 55 seconds left to go in the round. There it is. There it is. It's all over. DePaula down for the third time, and he doesn't seem badly hurt at all. None of the knockdowns of DePaula seemed a crushing one. He doesn't seem badly hurt. But Bob Foster, very jubilant in his corner, has retained his light heavyweight championship of the world.
4 months later, Foster defended against Andy Kendall, making short work of the Oregon contender. "That was the hardest I've ever hit a man," Foster said. "I don't know how he stayed up so long. He's a tough guy, and I'm glad I got past him." These victories earned Foster the award of Fighter of the Year by the Boxing Writers Association. 2 title defenses followed as Foster bounced Roger Rouse off the canvas 4 times in 1970 and 2 months later chased down Mark Tessman before finally stopping him in the 10th. But Foster continued to complain of not earning enough money in the light heavyweight division. He decided to move up in weight to challenge heavyweight champion Joe Frazier. Former light heavyweight great Tommy Loughran came to the gym to watch Foster train, hoping to give the champion a few pointers in taking on the bigger man. "It would be a mistake to put weight on him," Loughran said. "It ruined Floyd Patterson. He was a natural light heavy, but he became stiffened when they put weight on his shoulders. Foster has great natural body balance that gives him that extraordinary power. The only man I have ever seen like that was Bob Fitzsimmons." But Foster didn't heed Loughran's advice regarding adding on weight. Instead, he used a daily protein supplement while adding 17 pounds in 15 weeks. Now with a new manager in Lou Viscusi and the 80-year-old Bill Gore on hand to assist in training, Foster entered the ring against Frazier with a game plan to attack the body. "I saw Bonavena double him up in Philadelphia," Foster said, but he didn't have the sense to follow up on it.
The taller fighter, for those of you with color sets in blue trunks, and Frazier, the shorter, stockier man in the black trunks with the yellow trim. Foster's task, the task of any man fighting Joe Frazier, to stay away. It's a hard thing to do because Frazier is constantly boring in. More and more these days he's being likened to the late Rocky Marciano. Crunching power in either hand, but Foster himself a good puncher. Foster will try to keep distance using that left in occasional combinations with the right. Joe with a right to the midsection. Foster using that left with reasonable effectiveness thus far and trying to keep his distance. The history of Frazier as a fighter shows that he is never at his best in the first round. Ellis won the first round against him, and so did Jerry Quarry. Foster trying to stay away. Frazier always pursuing. They're in round 1. You saw the left to the side of Foster's head. But on balance, Foster has had reasonable effectiveness in this round. The crowd thought Joe hurt Foster there, but he didn't really. You see Bob using the left well. We have 30 seconds left in this. The first round. Frazier, the shorter man, black trunks, yellow trim. That's what Foster must not allow to happen. He mustn't try to slug with Frazier and get caught in the corner. There was a good left by Joe. We're approaching the end of round 1, and we'll be back with round 2. It's on the right of your screen against Bob Foster. Frazier always in pursuit, and you saw that left hook. That's the crunching power of Joe Frazier, and Foster is down for the first time in this fight. Remember, he's 21 pounds less than Frazier. Doesn't begin to have Frazier's strength and power. He was staggering. Now he's holding on. Bent over. Frazier is quickly after him. That's the left hook, and that does it. One need wait no further as the count proceeds. Joe Frazier has quickly done away with Bob Foster and successfully defended his heavyweight championship of the world. The official time, 49 seconds of round 2.
Foster earned $200,000 from the fight and expressed interest in facing Muhammad Ali if the offer was enticing enough. Foster enjoyed his newfound wealth, splurging on a powder blue Cadillac, a pink Cadillac, and a Buick station wagon to chauffeur around his wife and 4 children. Outside the ring, the WBA stripped him of their title. They cited his failure to defend against their top-ranked contender since winning the crown in 1968. Despite this setback, Foster continued to defend his WBC title while also taking on a part-time job as a deputy, earning $660 a month. "I don't work because I need the money," Foster explained. "I do it because I like it." Finding suitable sparring partners in Albuquerque remained a challenge. Although light heavyweight prospect Willie Wilson was brought in from Tampa, Foster's longtime friend Joe Louis Murphy remained his primary sparring partner. The issue, however, was that Murphy was only a welterweight. Foster made 4 more title defenses before meeting the WBA light heavyweight champion Vicente Rondon. "I've got a score to settle with the WBA," Foster said. "Bill Brennan, the WBA president, will be at the fight. I plan to knock Rondon into his lap."
Champion Bob Foster is in the blue trunks, and challenger Vicente Rondon is in red. Venezuela's Rondon began boxing professionally 7 years ago, in 1965, when he knocked out Jose Carballo in the 3rd round in Caracas. Since then, Rondon has had 42 professional bouts, 21 of which he has ended by knockouts. Bob Foster going right out after Vicente Rondon here in round 1. Foster is considered one of the best light heavyweight champions in ring history. A crushing right, followed by a left, and Rondon is down. He's up at the count of 3, very hurt. That's what champion Bob Foster is noted for. Ripping punches by the champion. Foster all over Vicente Rondon. It's all Foster here in the 2nd round. Bob snapping in those punches. World light heavyweight champion Bob Foster looking for that one opening. Foster seems to be measuring his man. Ripping punches, and Rondon goes down. The referee is screaming out the count.
Rondon sustained a concussion during the fight. 2 months later, Foster squared off against Mike Quarry in a fight card dubbed the Soul Brothers versus the Quarry Brothers, coinciding with Muhammad Ali's bout against Jerry Quarry in the main event.
Quarry, Foster keeps stalking him, though, stalking him, and keep waiting for something to happen.
That's his general style of fighting, and feeding him out.
There's a nice left by Foster, landed just that beautiful right hand.
That hurt him.
Yes. It wasn't a full blow, it just grazed him, but it did hurt a little bit. There's a nice left by Foster.
He's already got Foster's face red. Foster's grinning a little bit.
Yes, Foster is talking to Quarry now. Quarry's got his hands down at his side. Two left jabs by Corey. Foster keeps coming in. Two lefts by Foster.
Foster has, of course, that
Another left.
long range over Foster and can stay away from him and still hit him.
Ooh,
He just did with
right
that
left hand. 20 seconds
About
left to go in
15
this round.
seconds now left in the round.
They exchange left jabs, good left jabs, good solid left jabs, another one by Foster.
The round is just about over as they are tied up in the corner. He seems to be rather unconcerned, as he has been during his workouts all week. He was ready to fight 3-4 days ago.
Yes, Foster's in there stalking all the time, like a guy who knows what he's doing.
It's a good left.
Job, yes, another one.
Couple of lefts. Mike dancing around. A moving target. He was stuck that time by Foster. Foster likes to bob and weave and duck, trying to move in close.
Foster, Mel, as you said, looks completely unconcerned at this point and is going with that deadly left jab. Waiting, and stalking all the time.
Note how he goes to the midsection, comes right back to the face.
Well, he's a man who's had 40 or 42 knockouts.
There's a good left.
Oh, right hand, it just grazed. It wasn't solid, but it did hurt.
Stabbing. That's his big punch. And the referee warns him.
Corey missed with a good left hook then, or hit him with the open side of the glove. He is slipping some of those jabs that we were talking about, but not enough. He is being hit by it. There again, a beautiful, solid left jab, and Corey responds with a left hook. Or rather, Foster did. Another jab, and another jab, and another jab. He's throwing that jab like the deadly fighter that he is. Corey is changing tactics just a little bit now, moving outside, moving out of range a little bit.
The experience of Foster is beginning to tell a little bit. He's blocking a lot of the
Another left
punches
jab,
of
two
Corey.
more.
All right, here we go. Foster is still trying to use that left jab, missed with the right.
Corey hit with a nice uppercut then.
Coming back with that left, trying to set up a right, I think. He dances in and out nicely, Jack.
Yes, he does. He does everything nicely. That's a nice left jab by Corey there.
They've been yelling from his corner to Corey to keep using that left jab. Notice how he dances around, trying to...
Yes, he's trying to keep Foster off balance, Mel.
Against Corey.
Yes, he is, Mel.
Corey is gradually wearing him down. Or Foster's gradually wearing Corey down.
Yes, Corey hit with a couple of left jabs then, but he doesn't have the power in his jabs.
Nice uppercut.
Beautiful uppercut. Corey landed with a nice right cross that stunned Foster just a little bit, but Foster did get in a couple of punches too at the same time. Corey may be getting just a little bit desperate. It's hard to tell right now, but looks like he's ready to trade punches. And there he lands too, and had Foster off balance just a little bit.
Corey is trying for an early knockout.
This is the kind of fight with they're moving, exchanging punches all of the time. You don't know how long they can go, either one of them.
Now round 4.
Ooh, this is a nice left jab by Corey.
It's one of his best punches. And notice he's starting to stay away from Foster.
Yes, he's changed his tactics just a little bit now. 1, 2, 3 left jabs. couple of them missed, though. Another one. These guys are both in perfect condition, Mel, but taking that kind of punishment, after a little while, condition can wear off, too. There's a good right uppercut by Quarry and one by Foster. A left hook by Quarry. Another left hook by Quarry. And a third! By Quarry, and then Foster
came right back.
Yes. Ooh, nice left jab by Foster then.
Foster is dancing in and out. Now he's trying to corner him. And then Quarry dances away. There's a good right cross by Foster. Left hook into the midsection by Quarry.
That right hand hit on the chin and it hurt. And there's one that just barely missed. Another big right by Foster. A left by Quarry and a left by Foster.
That hurt too. Another left by Foster that hurt. Quarry seems to be tiring a little bit.
I think so, Mel. He's beginning to breathe a lot through his mouth. The mouth is wide open while he's breathing now.
Foster is getting to him with that left and then setting up the right. He's throwing some good left punches.
But Mel, one thing Quarry is doing, he continues to move, and he doesn't give him a chance to set up with those big punches. He isn't doing it right now, which could be dangerous.
He sure got out of that corner in a hurry. He dances away from a good right. There was a good right by Foster in the midsection. Getting in close.
Get together now. Get that dip in there.
A beautiful left hook by Quarry. Foster hits on the break. He was not warned at that time. Exchange left jabs.
Good right and the left by Quarry. I don't think Foster liked it.
Stay in there.
Left hook by Quarry got him down, and we're getting the count now. What is it? 8, 9, 10, and he's out. A left hook.
He began to move a little less than he had been. And he was giving him the chance to bring in those big punches, which he did, that left hook. I think Foster is very concerned about Quarry right now. He really was hit, and he is out, and he's still out.
I thought he was dead, Foster said after the knockout. Foster came home as a conquering hero, as on August 21st, 1972, it was declared Bob Foster Day in New Mexico. In September of 1972, Foster went to the United Kingdom to defend against 1968 Olympic gold medalist Chris Finegan.
That right hand again, thudding its way through the defenses of Finegan. But there would have been a lot of challenges on the floor by this stage. And Finegan hasn't been down yet. Keep coming back, Finegan. He's giving his man plenty of trouble. And Foster is having to work every inch of the way. Whoops! Right hand, left, then the right. And now you can see how the strength has been drawn from Finegan. A lazy-looking right hand that was, and an almost lazy way that Finegan went down. Now this is the first real crisis for Chris. And he tries to fight back. But now he surely must be going. Foster looks to his corner. There's no more moving from Finegan now. He's just got to slug it out from where he is. And Sturley picks up points off the base of Foster. The gameness of this British champion is really memorable. But it must be only gameness now. The red lights now really flashing for Finegan. That right hand is getting through too often. Trapped on the ropes. And he looks like a man in a daze. And he comes looking for Foster at the end of the tap. The touch of the Muhammad Ali now in Foster. The taunting of the victim. And a big attack being set up in the closing seconds of the 11th by Foster. Two shattering punches there from Foster. And Chris takes them well. This man's strength is astounding. And through all this trouble and pain, he still tries to box his way back. And this crowd at Wembley now really roaring Finegan back into this. But he's a long, long way behind. Foster's got just 2 rounds here. Foster's got 2 rounds to fulfill the boast that the referee wouldn't be needed to tot up the points. And Finegan very nearly put down there by another savage attack, and he goes, and this is probably the finish. I don't think even Chris Finegan has got anything left now. He's counted out. Round 14, it had to be. He had nothing left to offer, but what a marvelous, marvelous challenge it was by Finegan.
Finegan gave me my hardest title fight ever, Foster said. He set his sights on the heavyweights once again, getting a long-wished-for bout against Muhammad Ali. Foster promised a win for one of his sons, and his manager, Lou Viscusi, exuded confidence. "We've planned everything down to the smallest detail," Viscusi said. "We're certain that Ali will make that one mistake. Then Bobby will spring the trap." The odds dropped from 12-5 in favor of Ali to only 7-5 on the eve of the match. During the pre-fight build-up, Foster made it clear that he had gotten the better of Ali in sparring sessions back when they were both amateurs, claiming that he had knocked Ali down once. "I was just a little fellow then," Ali said. "But I'm a big man now, and you, Bobby Foster, you are the same size."
Well, for round 5, this is the round Ali said today that he would finish off Foster in. Remains to be seen. Oh, a good left by Foster. The first good left of the fight by Foster snapped Ali's head back. Funny, Bill Cosby has predicted that Foster would come alive in the 5th round and floor Ali. Bobby is moving that left much more crisply this round. He's only connected once. But there seems to be a new determination in him, and Ali is cut on the corner of the left eye. Ali is cut on the corner of the left eye, and blood is coming out from that one blow by Foster. A knockdown with the right. Ali came to life when he got cut. Mandatory 8 count. Ali doesn't like that a bit. You can see the blood out of the corner of his left eye. Down went Foster, first with a short left and then with a chopping right. Ali is after him now. Ali is after him now. We're a minute and a half into round 5. And Foster is punching away, fighting back despite the knockdown. The crowd is coming to life. The pattern has changed in this round. This is a fighting round. And give Bob Foster credit. A lot of guts. Weary fighter. We've got a little more than a minute left in the 5th round. A weary fighter is Foster, but he has cut Ali in the eye. We've had one knockdown in the fight this round. Crowd is yelling. There's a left. Oh, he's staggering. Foster's in trouble, but fighting wildly back. A wild right there you saw. And down again. Foster is a weary fighter. Second knockdown in this round. Remember, 3 knockdowns in 1 round does not end the fight. We have 30 seconds left in the 5th round. The fight continues. Referee Mills Lane is not down again. 3rd knockdown in the round. 15 seconds, not 20 as you hear. 10 seconds left in the round. Ali trying to finish him off. This was the predicted round, and down again. 4th time down in the round. He is a weary man. The end of the round. Let's stay on Bob Foster. Ali was cut. He was cut by a left hook in the corner of his eye, and it stung him into action. 4 knockdowns in the round. Did what you saw him do. 4 knockdowns. And a weary Foster somehow survived. We're in round 6 now. As you can see, Ali in the white, Foster in the blue. One has to wonder about the finishing power of Ali. In terms of knocking out another man. That left eye, blood is still coming out of it. He could not put Foster away despite 4 knockdowns. They have not really patched up that eye, and Angie Dundee is one of the best in the business, together with Dr. Ferdy Pacheco, who's in Angie's corner. Billy Edwards, of course, is in Bob Foster's corner. Ali is back to the flicking jab, moving, dancing on the toes, circling steadily to the left, occasionally balancing it off with a step or 2 to the right. All right, we've got the bell for round 7. Worked on Ali's left eye throughout the intermission between round 6 and 7. Let's see what Ferdy Pacheco can tell us about that eye.
Doesn't look bad, Howard. It's about 3/4 of an inch, not deep, but he bleeds. He's never been cut before, so he looks like he's bleeding a little bit more than usual. He has a mouse under his eye.
Mouse under the left eye, a cut that Dr. Pacheco describes as not deep. As we try to bring you up to the instant reporting while the fight is on from Ali's corner itself. Now in round 7. Foster, who didn't seem able to stand during the 5th round when he suffered 4 knockdowns. Foster is getting that left in. Now a right that was on the shoulder. He's aiming for that eye. That's Foster's hope. And the crowd is now pulling for Foster because of his courage. Look at that left getting in there now. Ali's right has dropped, enabling Foster to get that left in. We've gone a minute and 45 seconds into round 7. And the fight takes on interest. That's Drew Brown Bundini in the corner. Oh, there it was, the left. Came out of nowhere.
Ali was looking for his mark. The fifth knockdown of the fight. The fifth knockdown of the fight. The fight continues. Ali's corner exhorts him to finish it. The left was what did it the last time. A good right. Ali playing his game despite the blood, pretending to stagger. Another right, again the pretension of staggering. What is there in Ali that makes him feel the need to do that one? A good right, and again Ali is taunting him. You see the clock counting down. Oh, another knockdown, a quick left. The sixth knockdown of Bob Foster in this fight. The clock is counting down. We are in round 7. He will not stay down. Ali cannot put him away. The bell. In the 7th round. We're back to action, the 8th round. Ali in the white, Foster in the blue. Ali clearly dominant in the point scoring from the very beginning. But Ali with a mouse under his left eye with a thin 3/4 inch cut over his left eye. A cut that he's never suffered before in his life. Now, Foster is really wary. He went down from a quick right. He has just about had it. This is the time. He is trying to get up. He's a courageous man. But this, it seems to me, is the time to call it quits. It's over. It's over. It's a knockdown in the 8th round. A knockout in the 8th round as Muhammad Ali does away with one of the gamest men you'd want to see, but a man just too light, not strong enough to go against Ali. Bob, I'm terribly sorry, but you certainly couldn't have fought a gamer fight.
No, I got to give it to the guy. The guy got to have a tremendous right hand. You can't see it coming, you know. That's one thing I never get hit with the right hand, but my trainer warned me about the right hand, but I just couldn't see it coming.
And the fact is, though, that you went down 7 times and it was only final the last time. So how great could his punch be?
Well, he's not that great of a puncher, but see what he do, he can put so many together, whether I rely on one good shot,
I see.
What
now, Bob?
Well, I'm not going to stop trying, I don't feel bad, because I fought a great guy, And I don't feel bad at all, because the guy for a heavyweight, 220 pounds, have tremendous fast hands,
Okay, come on in here, if you will, huh? When you turn around, if you will, Muhammad.
You need somebody to whip you.
Yeah, I know.
You're an agitator.
I know.
Talk too much.
I
you
know.
don't have a chance to back it up.
I know. What do you want to say to this game, fella?
Well, I say he's game. I didn't know he was that good. Thought it was a lot of talk. He took my best shots, kept getting up. He's good. He's the only man that's ever cut me like he did and bruised me. Had a left jab that I couldn't seem to get away from, and he will reign a long time in his division.
Well, he says he's going to keep fighting.
He's so great until he's got to fight heavyweights. Light heavies just don't stand a chance.
I'm afraid he may be right, Bob.
Well, I guess I just have to keep on fighting them light heavies,
Thank you very much, Robert.
Okay,
you go on inside, and good luck to you.
Despite the loss, Foster took pride in being the only man to cut Ali, who was said to have the skin of a rhino. A 9-month layoff followed as Foster turned down an offer of over $150,000 to face Pierre Fourie in his native South Africa. Instead, the two met in Foster's native Albuquerque, his first title defense he'd make in his hometown. Foster won a lopsided decision. 3.5 months later, the two rematched in Johannesburg, South Africa. It was to be South Africa's first boxing match between a black and a white. Because of the country's apartheid policy, Foster was named an honorary white while he lived and trained in Johannesburg. He won another decision over Fourie, but his mother died on his return home from South Africa. After my mother passed, Foster said, it took a whole lot out of me. Foster confided in his manager that he wanted out of the fight game. I don't have it no more, Foster said. I'm tired. I've been fighting for over 17 years. But a $200,000 payday to face challenger Jorge Ahumada enticed Foster into the ring 6 months later. Foster struggled to earn a draw. Age caught up with me quickly, Foster said. Both he and manager Viscusi agreed that it was time to retire. Foster relinquished his titles and officially ended his boxing career. Foster returned to the ring after a year of retirement. "I just got tired of laying around," Foster said. Making his return to the ring, he knocked out his former sparring partner, Wild Bill Hardney, in the 3rd round. Now nearing 37 years old, Foster admitted he could no longer follow the same training regimen he once did. Outside the ring, Foster was among 4 deputies accused of obtaining an advanced copy of the Academy Certification Exam. The charge was later dismissed due to insufficient evidence. Foster then failed to pass a firearms test that caused him to be suspended without pay. Later, in response to a burglary call, Foster shot a man at a trailer home. The man survived the shooting, and Foster was cleared of any wrongdoing, as he stated that the man pointed a rifle at him. But Foster was later sued for over $350,000, and the case was settled out of court. Meanwhile, there were talks for Foster to face Victor Galindez in South Africa for the WBA title, but the fight never materialized. Foster fought only one time in 1977, and in February of 1978, he traveled to Denmark to face Mustafa Wasaya. Lured by a $10,000 payday, Foster received 1/3 of it in advance, but hardly threw any punches during the first 4 rounds. He refused to come out for the 5th round, claiming a hand injury, but the booing was so intense that Foster relented and went another round before quitting in his corner again. The promoter insisted on x-rays and a medical examination on his hand, which revealed that Foster suffered no injury. The Danish boxing board withheld the rest of his purse. 4 months later, Foster took one last payday, getting stopped in 2 rounds by heavyweight journeyman Bob Hazelton. Outside of the ring, troubles continued to snowball as well. Foster's wife of over 20 years divorced him and took their children to Pennsylvania. In 1978, he had to pay a divorce settlement and child support to his youngest daughter. He married again to a woman 17 years his junior, but they quickly divorced. Now pursued by bill collectors of every sort, Foster filed for bankruptcy. "It was embarrassing," Foster said. "Somebody once told me, when you're at the top, everybody cares about you. When you're not, nobody knows you." That's true. Used to be I had a whole lot of leeches around me. Not anymore. Foster also became estranged from his longtime trainer, Billy Edwards, who no longer returned his calls. "Bobby wants things to be the same as when he fought," Edwards said. "Life's not like that." In March of 1980, 2 appreciation days were held in his honor in Albuquerque, but the now retired champion remained bitter. "Name something good that's happened to me in the last few years," Foster asked. "Nothing." Foster was now a detective in the Violent Crimes Division, admitting he'd rather be doing something else. He remarried in 1982 to friend Joe Louis Murphy's former wife, Patricia. "It was a backstabber," Murphy said. 2 years later, Patricia committed suicide. Foster stayed busy boxing exhibitions. He dabbled in managing and training fighters in Albuquerque, like Stan Butler, Tommy Cordova, and later Foster's own son, Tony. Foster remarried, and in 1989, he was inducted into the International Boxing Hall of Fame. In 1993, he retired from the Sheriff's Department. He spent his retirement years working part-time at the courthouse before coming home to watch television or films of his old fights. "That's the way I like to spend an evening," Foster said. "Maybe drink some Coors, have a VO." By 2013, Foster began having unconfirmed health issues. On November 21, 2015, Foster died at the age of 76. At his funeral, speakers fondly recalled his loyalty, irreverent sense of humor, and genuine concern for others. "Foster was a really tough guy," Albuquerque Mayor Richard Berry said. "Most people knew him, knew he was a tough guy, but with a big heart."